He's going straight back. A spraying target is setting up. Goes deep into the right corner, deep downfield. Tucker Ferguson. Touchdown! The Giants have it. Tucker Ferguson deep in the end zone for a touchdown. And the Giants are out in front now, 41-24.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, the New York Giants quarterback situation after the draft and the undrafted free agency. There's no, they might bring some. You don't know. A veteran might get let loose. Quite a possibility now. We got Davis Webb and Brian Lewerke. If another team lets go of a somewhat quality backup quarterback, might we get rid of Davis Webb or Brian Lewerke? Possibly bring somebody else in. Who knows? Because remember what happened last year? Last year, we actually went to a third stringer. Now, basically, the third stringer was because it wasn't because of injuries. Mike Lennon, but then we had to put Jake Fromm in there, and then so Jake Fromm got his start, and that was whew. Then we put Mike Lennon back, and whew. So just goes to show you two things. One, after the Jake Fromm, Mike Lennon fiasco last year, one kind of, makes Daniel Jones look a little bit better, doesn't it? But two, also kind of shows you the importance of a quality backup quarterback. I'm not saying it's to take us to the Super Bowl like Jeff Hostetler did or nothing, but just to give us a chance to win a football game, unlike Mike Lennon, and when Jake Fromm had his start, we did not have a chance at all. So that's the importance of having Tyrod Taylor. Now, if we were this year, honestly, if we were to get to maybe a Davis Webb or a Brian Lewerke having to start a game, we're in some trouble. But, obviously we got Daniel Jones, right? And Tyrod Taylor's backing him up. We didn't get Daniel Jones on his fifth-year option, right? Right. So he's going to have to prove himself, which I felt all along is the best situation. If you're going to ball out, let's do it, and we'll, franchise tag them or extend it, right? It's that way. Franchise tag them. It's all guaranteed money, but you're not guaranteeing them, whatever, $35 million, with maybe, for just say 6 years, $200 million. Right, $33 million a year, with like maybe $25 million a year guaranteed. So you're not guaranteeing long, big, huge money into the future. So I said you can franchise tag them, and just guarantee basically that year's salary. Right, you just take it from there. So very, very interesting. So it's going to be up to Daniel Jones, but if Daniel Jones winds up coming out because he's not doing too well, and you put Tyrod Taylor back in there, Ooh. Sometimes if you have two quarterbacks, it's like I think what Bill Parcells said. Sometimes if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have any quarterbacks. So let's take a deep dive here, shall we, into the New York Giants quarterback situation. All right, the New York Giants. No big news here. Right? Their quarterback. All right, you got Daniel Jones, quarterback number one, Tyrod Taylor, Davis Webb, and then you got Brian Lewerke. Right, the fearsome foursome we got here. Dan Jones, interesting season for him. Does he ball out? Does he do mediocre? Does he get hurt? You got to realize also that, what was it? 4 years ago, he was at Duke. He had one offensive system. Then he was with Pat Shurmur 3 years ago, another offensive system. Then he was with the Clapper for the past 2 seasons. That's another offensive system. And then this year you got Dable. So 4 new offensive systems in the past five, or not new, but 4 offensive systems he's been in 5 years. That's not, obviously not ideal, right? But that's pretty much what he's been up against. Now, I mean, yeah, we'll have to see. Does he do, right? Now you look here with Pat Shurmur. Basically, he played in 12 games. I mean, it says he played in 13. He had like 6 snaps in the game against the Cowboys. I don't even count that. He played in 12 games, started 12, played in 12 games. His record obviously was 3-9. But you'll notice each year his quarterback, that the completion percentage has gone up. But I think it seems like they're trying to more and more, like, maybe kind of protect him with the porous offensive line. Not throwing the ball deep down the field, quicker passes, right? As you can see here, as his sacks, his past season, he only had 20. He played in 11 games, right? He only got sacked 22 times. So a lot of quick passes, right? His sack percentage went way down, 5.7%. Okay. But, I mean, you also look here, in his first year, 24-12. Played in 12 games, started 12, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I mean, and you can even see here, I mean, his completion percentage has gone up each year, which is great. But, I mean, look, his yards have gone down every year. He only played in 12 games here, and he had 3,000 yards. All right, here he played in 11, his 3rd season, and he had 2,400. So if he played in one more game, he would have had maybe 26, maybe 2,700. So his, everything's gone down. Right? I mean, his interceptions have gone down. Okay, but look, 20. He threw more touchdown passes in his first season than he did in his last 2 combined. All right. Now you notice here, I mean, his first season, right? It's Pro Football Focus is 65.5. And his second season, he went a lot better. He got 78.4. And last year, he's 71.6. But he's got the BTT, the big time throws here. Okay, now, look, I mean, his fumbles have gotten better. He was at a 27, rated at a 27 out of 100. Absolutely pathetic. He went up to a 34. His past season was a 51, which is still very bad. But you notice his big time throws. Okay, he had 20 his first year. His second season, he had 24 big time throws. This last season, it's like only had 7. Right? I mean, he had a couple good games this year. I mean, obviously, this was his rookie season. Okay, this is the first he came in. He was in for like a few plays again, against the Cowboys, and this is the one where he started against Tampa Bay. All right, this was his rookie season. I rated at a 65.5. Now, I mean, he's done some really boneheaded things, but let's not also forget, all right, what he did, in 2019. All right. All right, now it's tough to say. It's 2019. This is the Giants. All right, now this, now look at the, this is what he can do, even with a pretty bad offensive line. Not a very, I mean, this is right. Even Saquon missed a few games. 2019, his rookie season. Okay, but I mean, look, these are the guys he's throwing the ball to: John Hillman, Wayne Gallman, Elijah Penny. I mean, let me know, which one of these guys scares you. Javarius Allen. I mean, caught a ball. I mean, Sterling Shepard, but once again, Sterling Shepard was hurt, missed almost half the season, missed 6 games. I mean, once again. Evan Ingram, shocker here. He missed half the season. He started 6, but he played in 8. He missed half the season. So his starting tight end missed half the season. His go-to guy, Sterling Shepard, missed 6 games, right? Then we just go from here. I mean, Golden Tate, right, got caught 49 balls, right? He missed 5 games. Then how about some of these guys? The old Benny Fowler, huh? He caught 23. Somehow he caught 23 balls. Damari Scott, remember him? He was in on 5 games. He caught 2 passes. This is his rookie season. Darius Slayton, this is a big season for him. Big season for him. All right, remember he had 48 receptions, but 8 touchdowns. Remember that? That just goes to show you what he could possibly do, too. Now, big year for him as well, too. Then we got Caden Smith, right? He had 31 receptions, but Cody Latimer, he had 24 receptions. Red Ellison had 18. Cody Core, T.J. Jones. I mean, Russell Shepard with 3 big receptions. And 4. Scott Simonson, he had 2. I mean, let me know which one of those guys is going to the Hall of Fame, guy. I mean, just let me know, all right? So, I mean, if you remember that, all right, then we go to this here. Okay, this is rookie year. Daniel Jones ties the rookie quarterback record. And I'm going to go this one farther, all right? He tied it, but he also broke it. I'm going to go over this in a minute. This is Daniel Jones' rookie season, okay? This is what he can do, okay? Ties rookie quarterback record held by Fran Tarkenton and Deshaun Watson, all right? Giants rookie quarterback gave a fan base that needed it's something to be hopeful about. The Giants may have cost themselves the capital in the 20 NFL draft, but they traded for arguably the most impressive performance of a rookie quarterback Daniel Jones' 2019 season. All right. Okay. Jones joined Fran Tarkenton and Deshaun Watson as the only 3 quarterbacks in NFL history. Last time I checked, there was a lot of good quarterbacks in NFL history, right? To finish with 4 touchdown passes or more, all right, in 3 individual games during the rookie season, according to ESPN stats and information. Well, I'm also going to trump this or whatever, outdo him one or whatever. Daniel Jones is the only quarterback in NFL, period, in NFL history, okay, with at least 4 touchdown passes in 3 or more games, all right, with no interceptions. Deshaun Watson had at least 1 interception. I know Fran Tarkenton in those games had 1 interception. Daniel Jones is the only quarterback in NFL history, rookie season, with at least 4 touchdown passes or more in at least 3 games, all right, with no interceptions. That's what he can do. Now, don't get me wrong. All right, the teams he did it against were not defensive juggernauts. Okay, I'll tell you that. Let's see. Daniel Jones, where are we at here? Okay, he did it. All right, let's see here. He did it against Detroit. He did it against the Jets, and he did it against Washington. He had 5 touchdown passes against Washington. Okay, but I mean, let's see. Along the way, Jones became the only rookie quarterback in NFL history to throw for 350 passing yards with 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in a single game. Only rookie quarterback in NFL history. 5 touchdowns, 350 yards, 0 interceptions. Only quarterback. Okay? Right? I'm saying this is what he can do. All right? So, I mean, and then, if you want to go that one further, okay, even take that one step further. In his first start, okay, he didn't throw for 4 touchdowns, right? There we go. But he had 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. So you can throw that in there as well, too. Right? Okay. Daniel Jones ran for 1. Daniel Jones ran for 2. Whoop, I'm going the wrong way. All right. Sterling Shepard passed to Daniel Jones. Passed for 1. Evan Ingram, 75-yard pass from that. So Daniel Jones passed for 2, ran for 2. 4. No interceptions. That's because if we go down here, New York Giants, touchdowns, interceptions. 2 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. So he had 4 games where he had at least, 4 touchdowns, either passing and running with no interceptions. All right. So that's what he can do. Now, and he hasn't gotten stupider. He hasn't, so, is it the system? Is it, Daniel Jones? Exactly what it is. But we're going to wind up seeing it's going to be a huge, huge season, obviously, for Daniel Jones. All right. And then we got Mr. Tyrod Taylor. Absolutely love this guy. Absolutely love. I couldn't possibly be happier that we got him as a backup. If Daniel Jones gets hurt, which he has every year, so, all right, I'd love to see Tyrod come in there. Now, if you'll notice here, right, he's been around since 2000. I thought he was like 13 or 14, somewhere around here. I didn't realize he got drafted all the way back then. So, he's not a young pup. But if you'll notice here, his overall, right, he's played on some not such good teams. Right? Buffalo was not very good. He took him to the playoff here, right? Then he went to Cleveland. Then he went to the Chargers. Then he got his lung punctured, right, by the stupid frickin' doctor there. Then he went to Houston, one of the worst teams in football, okay? But, he has a winning record, 26, 25, and 1, okay? He's only completed 61% of his passes. But you'll notice here, right, 59 touchdown passes, 25 interceptions, 1.6%. See, 1.6. Daniel Jones, interception percent, 2.3. Okay, it has gotten better, but Tyrod Taylor overall, right? Very, very, very good with the, very smart, very good quarterback, protects the ball. Okay, now this is what he did last year against when he was with Houston. Okay, he had a clunker against Miami, kind of. He didn't do so good against Indianapolis. He was only there for 29 stats, but he had a couple good games. But you got to look at the talent around him. Okay, but you look at his overall. 64 is his PFF overall grade. 68, 61, 34, but he was only in there for 6 snaps, right? But you'll notice when he was with Buffalo, he was their starting quarterback, okay? Buffalo hadn't made the playoffs in a long time. They finally made the playoffs in 2017. But say, graded out of 77. Once again, was no Stephon Diggs running around out there for him. I can guarantee you that, right? Graded out of 75.6. The year they made the playoffs, he was a 77.7. Right? Very, very good. Very, very good quarterback. I'm very, very happy. So Daniel Jones gets hurt, which he quite possibly just might. It'd be nice to know we got Tyrod Taylor who can step in there, right? Hopefully, I can't say hope, but if it winds up being where Daniel Jones starts struggling a little bit and Tyrod Taylor comes in there and Tyrod starts taking off maybe a little bit, Daniel Jones never gets a chance to get back on the field. I guess it's the writing's on the wall for Daniel Jones there, but Tyrod Taylor's our backup quarterback. I couldn't be more happy about it. And then we got Mr. Webb. All right, this is Mr. Webb. All right, 2021. He was apparently in there for a grand total of 4 snaps. Right, he graded out of this is his entire career right here. Davis Webb, PFF. Right, 4 snaps. College, so he's not a young pup. He's 27. All right. But Texas Tech, his last season with California, it wasn't too bad. He had 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. His quarterback rating was 135.6. Threw for almost 4,300 yards, right, in 12 games. Close to, 375, 380 yards a game, whatever that is. That's pretty impressive. The completion percentage is not off the wall, but, it is what it is. If he gets into the game, or if he has to play, we're in some trouble. Right? Which obviously leads you to our last guy, Mr. Brian Lewerke here. Okay, this is his. What was at Michigan State? Okay, he had. His freshman season wasn't much, but then the next 3 seasons he played a lot. he was the man. All right, he didn't grade out too well. His 2018, he graded out 50.8, nothing super spectacular. But this was his grades last year. Right, he graded out a 68.4. Had a couple bad games. One against Penn State, graded out a 32.7. His passing was a 30 point. Wisconsin graded out a 27.2. He had a couple nice games against Western Michigan. Okay. Rutgers, he did, I think he did decently. Against Ohio State, he graded out a 77.9. But, I mean, I don't know if, see, Michigan State. Actually, he was on there. Yeah. He's there for 5 years, but he only played 4. Okay. But, overall, nothing super spectacular. He wound up with 47 touchdown passes. He had 32 interceptions for his career. His last year wasn't bad. Somehow he had a nice quarterback rating, 125.9, but he had 17 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. I'm not quite sure how that worked out, and he didn't even complete 60% of his passes, but he had 3,000 yards. So, once again, if he has to get in the game, we're in a lot of trouble. But overall, we got a very good backup quarterback. Now, if Daniel Jones is able to maybe take the next step, if with the addition of Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas to bookends, right? If we get the middle of the line situated, right? If Saquon can stay healthy, if Kenny Galladay, right, can stay healthy, a lot of ifs here, guys, a lot of ifs. Sterling Shepard can stay healthy. Kadarius Toney wants to play football and he doesn't want to get injured every other game. We got Wan'Dale Robinson, right? Maybe Darius Slayton steps up a little bit. There's some weapons there. We came down a little bit as far as with the tight ends because, with Caden Smith, Kyle Rudolph, and Evan Ingram, they're all gone. So our tight ends have taken a little step backwards, but we still got some weapons there, right? So with maybe a little more, a better offensive system, a little better scheme, if the guys can stay healthy, right, it's going to be a very, very interesting season to see what Daniel Jones can actually do. As I said, they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so it's all on him. So if he does a nice season, then it'll be interesting to see what the Giants do. Do they just franchise tag him and just do that a couple of years, or do they just go out straight out sign him to a nice long contract and spend the big bucks on him? But however you look at it, it's going to be a very, very, very interesting season with Daniel Jones. But you got to be pretty rest assured, okay, for one thing, that if Daniel Jones does not have a very good season for the New York Giants, I'm not saying take us to the Super Bowl or 50 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. I'm not saying that, but that have a nice season for the New York Giants, or this might be the last time you ever see Daniel Jones on the depth chart for the New York Giants. So, you see what I'm saying? So, it's like, I'll tell you what. I love Tyrod Taylor. Absolutely smart, intelligent, lots of experience, been around for, I had a hard time when I saw when he got drafted. I didn't know he was around that long, honest to goodness. A lot of experience, smart, intelligent, and very good with the football. He turns the ball over. Every quarterback does. Come on. But he's very, very protective of the football, which is huge, especially he's going to be a backup quarterback, especially if the offense has been struggling. Just putting the ball on the carpet, throwing interceptions is not what you want to do. So I've been excited about having a backup quarterback since, I guess Eli Manning was actually backing up Daniel Jones, right? But so we got 2 starting quarterbacks. Now I said, it's going to be very interesting to say, we added to the offensive line, we added another weapon, Wan'Dale Robinson. We're getting a new system, right? Hopefully it's going to be Daniel Jones friendly, with with Dable and Kafka, 2 very good minds, offensive minds. It's going to be up to Daniel Jones to see what he can do. You know, I mean, we got Thomas, we got Neal. Hopefully, we got the two tackles. Hopefully for the future. Can we solidify the interior offensive line? Hopefully, maybe that gets a little bit better. We'll have to wait and see. But I mean, if we can keep Saquon healthy, if Kadarius Toney actually wants to play football and not get hurt all the time, if Shepard can stay healthy, if Kenny Golladay can stay healthy, so we got Wan'Dale Robinson. We lost Evan Ingram. Bellinger's been impressing so far in camp. So, but we got some offensive weapons. And I said, if we can keep Daniel Jones standing, and not being hit, and he takes care of the football a little bit better, I think he can have a pretty decent season. Now, the big question is if he has a decent season. I mean, he's not leading the league in touchdown passes or nothing like that. But I'm saying, but if he has a decent season, very interesting to see what the Giants do as far as trying to franchise tag him, sign him long term. Very, very interesting. So, I mean, regardless, needless to say, shall I say, this upcoming season for the Giants quarterback situation is going to be very, very interesting. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!